My name is Jonathan Parks, and welcome to Jonathan's Nature Crafts. Hi, I'm Jonathan Parks of Jonathan's Nature Crafts. I've come to introduce you all to a new series I'm starting to work on about carving this Father Christmas out of walnut. I will tell you all that before we had the flood back in September of 2024, there was a certain piece of wood I had that was shaped like this. It was about this thick altogether, and I cut it in half because I could see in it a certain shape from which I could make a special kind of Santa, even though a skinny Santa, that would have a little bit of a toy sack on its back. And it just so happened that over the months it was kind of stored away. We didn't get around to working on it, but just recently I got it out and started carving it. It seemed like it came out pretty good here, and I want to show you all the little pattern that I made from the scrap. So what I want to mention is that I will say that this is kind of a funny little grained piece of wood, and whenever I was carving out the original one, sometimes a little too much would chip off, and some of it had to be glued back in place to get it all together. So just to let you all know that there's probably going to be places in the series where we're going to come across that, and where you're probably going to see a little bit too much chipped off here and there just because of how the grain of the wood is. So that is what I wanted to say. Come on here again today to show you all a few more steps. As you may have noted, by the time we recorded the last video, we forgot to put in these extra lines for the sleeve cuffs. So we're going to do a little demonstration here as to how that goes, and make these lines right here in just the place where the cuffs are, and that's kind of what you see. We just made one. We're going to kind of take out the other and sort of, I say, just put in that little line there to make it straight in. And then there's a little place here where you see this little triangle underneath that makes out the nose. So we've kind of got to put the little V cuts with the knife right into there. And so this is just one little place we come to with that. I say for a moment we're going to come on and kind of remove this extra wood from the other sides, and I say just sort of remove here from the cheek, and kind of just thin down a little bit. Work here as well, and once it comes down to a real type of work, you know, we're going to kind of get it where it's kind of thinner in place, kind of remove what's going to happen here to kind of thin things down, make the top of the head a little more narrow, and try to get some extra wood taken out. I say this is where we're coming down, narrowing the head a little more to kind of make a little place where this shall be the work we're going to see when it all really gets done. And for the last time, I say, coming down here, remove what was here, because we certainly needed to get this straight right here. I'll say that there's another place where we come back make this line all over again because it probably just got ruined a little bit when we were shaving around it. So just to kind of get that where it's going to need to be, and so just to like get little cuts made by the V's and the knives and put into place. I say it's just one little project of work after another. So now here you see we got the sides of the head out, and we might even look at this one to kind of see how we demonstrate this. But you know, there's kind of a place where we can start to come along the beard here, remove the extra line from around that and around the sleeve cuff, and put the lines right in their place just to make things a little rounder in this area. Come here to the bottom of the sleeves, and I say just get the little work done into such a nice little work of peace. And I say kind of trim down the sides of the beard here and remove some extra wood along the way. It's just kind of where we see how the beard has thinned down. We're going to come down, take care of the little work that comes along the little mustache, and kind of get where it's going to be thinned down a bit to where we need to see a little bit of positivity in the piece, and come down to where even the area below the mustache where the beard is, kind of get a little extra trim into there to kind of get it a little bit flatter in place. And so this is where next little line is going to come. As soon as we kind of get the points made into the mustaches on the side, we're going to kind of try to take a knife and chip away a little bit more from that area and kind of get it so it's going to be just kind of the way you see that a Saint Nick ought to be. Kind of take a little wood to the beard out from under the mustache to kind of separate it, make it thinner and rounder, just like so, around where you get to the sides of the face. And so I say it's time to take it around to the little other side as well and get a little bit more wood right out of the way. And so, with all being said, we know that this is where we come to remove the wood from the cheek right above the mustache and kind of get it so it's going to be thinner in ways. And that's how much further along we've come on this. Might take a little moment to try to make out the head up here, try to round the points out a little bit, kind of go at the top of the head and the bottom of the head part of the robe to put in that little bit of detail. And as you see, we're just going to kind of like remove this little extra wood on here to kind of make out the eyes a little bit, as you see, and come by, and that's where the work is done. We'll take it along to this other little side too and kind of put in the detail in just the place where I say it needs to go, and put on a little faith in the work. And then we got this. So but I will say for one thing that there's going to come the time we're going to take a little of the corners off of these sleeve cuffs and the sleeve itself on the other side of the cut and make them a little rounder, as you see we've done here. Now we're going to kind of take it to the sides and see that it's going to be where down here at the bottom part too, take care of some of these little details here and remove the wood as it needs to be, and come down to this little last part of the sleeve cuff and remove extra. I say that this is just one little thing we have where we've kind of removed some wood from here and from this part of the sleeve too. We kind of I say just want the cuffs to stick out a little more, so that's why we kind of got to remove some extra along here to kind of get it into its good old proper shape. And I say these are just how we're going to make the old cuffs turn out. Later on, there's going to come a part where we take care of the bottom of the robe. But as for now, probably a good idea would be to round off the back of the hood here and give it a little bit more of a good point in it, and see how little bit of extra work shall make itself a long way. And for the times that we share in life, this is going to be a great project to end with. And then again, kind of get it so at the top it's going to look something like this, and kind of say remove a little extra along the lines and take it down to what we're going to see with all the kinds of things that work shall be down to. And so you see we kind of got it pointed to the back, and there's some steps you can take in any order, but decide for now I'm going to try to round off this top part of the hood and remove the extra from the corners to try to give it kind of a round shape at the top where it's going to be just fine for Father Christmas as he comes down to being what he has to be, to say the least. I say that we'll kind of remove a little extra from the front as well, kind of get away with what we have that is out to the very most corner, and say that it's going to be just fine work that comes along to make a little special trip us. And so I say, kind of like, get a little extra done, where we kind of get to where we're going to round things off a bit and see how Father Christmas is made, to where this little type of work is just making a way down to anywhere, you know. It's just kind of the best of all the work we have. I say round to the top. It's all going to be good, and make a little way down to seeing where old Nick is going to be the old man back in town. And you see it might be a little different at the corners, so remove some from along there. And this may be the last step we take on this video, because it's getting short on time. But thank you all for watching. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to this channel. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.